Nice, good game.
He can make it.
Boom. Good game.
Yeah. You have to play another one, man. We're on a streak now. You gotta keep it up.
We'll play one more game and then I gotta go to bed.
One more. Guys.
Oh, he got it.
Oh, come
man.
on, man. We gotta play one more, man. One more. You can't just leave like this.
Dude.
Okay.
One more. Last one.
Yeah. No.
No! Oh my
man,
gosh.
Sorry, man. I can't believe I fucking set him up.
Oh my gosh. I'm done.
No, man. We can't leave it on the loose. We have to win the last one. Come
Are you
on,
being
man.
serious right now?
More. Oh yeah.
So we can't quit playing when we're on a winning streak, and we can't quit playing when we lose.
Dude, we can never quit playing. You know how to do this.
In.
Oh,
Boom.
no way, dude. How
Boom.
you do that? Oh.
Alright, I'm done.
No, come on, man. One more. One more. We have
No,
to
I'm
play
done.
it.
Dude, what time is it?
Dude.
What time is
I
it?
don't know. I think it's 1 a.m.
Dude, it's 1 o'clock and I gotta be at work in 4 hours. Are you freaking? No, forget. No, I'm done. Dude, I'm done. Forget it.
Dude, Seth? Seth, are you there? Oh, Seth?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the game room. Have you ever caught yourself saying these words while playing a video game? Okay, I'll play one last time and then I'm done, I swear. If so, then congratulations, you are officially a gamer. Far too often, I start off playing a game with the intention of playing either a set amount of time or to a set point in the game, only to find myself going way beyond what I initially intended to do. If only that habit could translate over to my real job. Oh well. So, what is it exactly that causes us, as gamers, to get so enthralled with a video game that we lose minutes or even hours or days as we try and find that last spaceship part for the From the Beyond trophy in Grand Theft Auto 5? Well, that's a great question. Originally, I wanted this video to be a discussion on video game addiction, and showing both sides of the debate as to whether or not it should be considered a mental disorder the same as a drug addiction. After my initial research and investigating, I realized that the argument is very far-reaching and has strong implications. So while I do plan on doing this video in the future, I want to make this first video a little more lighthearted. Today, I want to focus primarily on the current game that I repeatedly get sucked into day after day without end, and that is Rocket League. Rocket League, published by Psyonix, is a physics-based vehicle soccer video game. I like to say it's soccer with RC cars strapped to rockets. Sounds awesome, right? Well, since its release in July of 2015, I have played over 200 hours of Rocket League. That is the total of 8.3 days on this game. That's like watching every minute of every episode of The Walking Dead from start to finish 5 times. So what makes this game so addicting? Is it the depth of character? The immersive storyline? The stunning artistic landscapes? The realistic gameplay? Well, no. So what is it? First, let's start off by figuring out what causes us to be drawn to certain games in the first place. According to siteguides.com, there are 2 types of video game addictions. Again, we're going to hold off on the argument of whether these are actual addictions or something completely different. But according to site guides, there are 2 major types of video games, ergo, there are 2 major types of video game addictions. These 2 types are considered standard gaming addiction and multiplayer gaming addiction. Standard gaming refers to games that are generally a single-player game and that there is a completion to the game, such as a final boss or a final goal to achieve, and then roll credits. The game has a set goal and a set ending point. Multiplayer gaming, however, is usually done via the internet where people play games with other people and typically there is no ending. For instance, the game of World of Warcraft is an online multiplayer fantasy role-playing game. There's a vast storyline to follow and there's a narrative that you follow. But there's also a limitless amount of activities that you can do outside of the narrative. Things as simple as riding a horse through the countryside, going fishing, cooking, exploring dungeons, fighting in arenas, or just chatting with friends at the local tavern. Basically, no matter how much you play, there's always more things to be done, more loot to be acquired, and more activities to complete, and that leaves the game ever going. Where standard gaming can be immersive and you can lose yourself in these artificial worlds, usually, once you've completed the game once, you do not get the same sense of wonder or excitement the second time through, or even less the third, fourth, or fifth time. The reason for this is because upon beating the game the first time, your brain goes into overdrive and releases dopamine. Yes, that's right, dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical that triggers your brain and gives you that sense of excitement and achievement. However, the more that you receive that dopamine trigger, that activity that gave you that sense of excitement and wonder, eventually wears off. When you complete a task over and over, you get less and less enjoyment each time, where eventually you just move on to another game or another hobby altogether. The reason multiplayer games are so much different is because there are so many ways to receive the dopamine being released. What this means is when you're repeatedly doing quests in a game, those quests can become stale and old. It's at this moment that you can change from doing these repetitive quests and do something completely different but still within the game and still receive that same dopamine response. In more recent years, online multiplayer gaming has become the forerunner of criticisms in society due to the anonymity of the internet, meaning that you're able to communicate with total strangers day in and day out, and due to concerns of addiction. The reason that online multiplayer games are in such a spotlight is because in most of these games, you can escape into a world that's completely of your own making. You may be a secretary at work, but when you get home, you're a champion warrior fighting for the safety and prosperity of the motherland, where you vanquish your enemies, destroy dragons, receive fame, prestige, and riches for your service. However, none of this translates over to the real world. You can see how having an alternate life of your own making could be a great escape from the real world where you have a job, chores, homework, or even a nagging wife. Oh, hey, honey, I didn't see you there. Love you. Another thing I should mention is that there's also a large subset of online multiplayer games called competitive online multiplayer games. Games like Call of Duty, League of Legends, and Counter-Strike. These games not only have you interacting with people on a social level, but also working together as a team, creating a sense of unity and camaraderie. The sense of accomplishment of beating an opponent in an intense match can oftentimes leave the player with an adrenaline rush that makes you want to say, "Gee up and let's do it again." Now let's go back to Rocket League. So what makes this game so enticing? Well, the first thing you'll notice is that there is no narrative. There is no storyline that you can follow whatsoever, and there's no fantasy or alternate life where you can escape into another world. In fact, this game seems to be quite the opposite of many other online multiplayer games. Actually, there's really a very limited amount of differing activities you can do whatsoever in the game. Though you can change some options around as to whether or not you want the ball to be round or square or what kind of car you're driving, the objective is still the same. Play a game of soccer using an RC car. In fact, the game is extremely simple and limiting. So why do we play it so much? The fact is, everything I just said to describe why Rocket League should not be addicting is exactly what causes it to be so enticing to us. First off, Rocket League is a very social game. Whether you are competing against strangers or playing with friends, you know that an actual person is on the other side of that RC car that just flew over you, made a backflip aerial goal just as you were going for the epic save. The reason this game is so enticing is because it is a true online multiplayer game. Every time you join a game, you are playing with other people. This interaction can lead to conversations, or if you play well together, maybe they want to join in a chat party with you and team up and go against other foes. Just these interactions alone can be a strong enough pull for certain people towards getting hooked on these types of games. Not only is Rocket League an online multiplayer game, but it also falls under the very popular subset we spoke about earlier of being a competitive online multiplayer game. So not only are you playing with your friends and competing against a rival team, but every time you win, it makes you want to win again, and again, and again. Even when you lose, it makes you want to play again because you want to recover the points that you just lost. This competitive feeling is the same, whether you're competing with people or competing by yourself. This is the same feeling you would get if you were to go to a casino. If you're playing a game of chance with real money on the line and you win 6 games in a row, it would be really hard to stop because you're on a winning streak. However, if you lost that 7th game, it would become even harder to stop because now you want to win back the money you just lost. And so you tell yourself, I'm going to play one more hand and then I'm done. But what happens if you lose that next hand? Well, now you have to either really cut your losses or win 2 hands in a row to make up the difference. This is known as the gambler's fallacy, also known as the Monte Carlo fallacy. It is the mistaken belief that if something happens more frequently than normal during some period, it will happen less frequently in the future. To put that in perspective, if you're at the casino and you're on a bad losing streak, it's this idea that if you continue to play, eventually the losing streak has to stop, right? Well, video games and even Rocket League itself hone in on the exact same facts. Of course, if you're winning, you're going to want to keep playing. But the catch-22 is, even when you're losing, you're going to want to keep playing. The second reason that Rocket League is so successful in keeping you enamored for hours on end is that the concept and mechanics are so easy to pick up and get good at. Just about anyone can do it. Dana? Dana? Well, I did say just about anyone could do it. And this simplicity allows average gamers to become very skilled in the game in a short amount of time. And thirdly, the real genius behind Rocket League, and what I feel is the most infuriating thing of all, is the fact that one game only lasts 5 minutes long. Sure, if I have just completed an hour-long match in League of Legends and it's 1 in the morning, it's really easy for me to say, okay guys, I have got to go to bed. But the problem with Rocket League is after you lose, it is far too easy to say, I don't care that it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Come on guys, let's play one more game. It's only 5 minutes. The next thing you know, your alarm clock is ringing, your boss is calling your phone, and you're still playing the game. So the bottom line is there are many different ways that video games can capture your attention and even create addiction-like reactions from the player. The most important thing to keep in mind when playing video games is keep gaming in moderation. And remember, there is an entire world waiting for you just outside your door. And trust me, it has much better graphics than your brand new overpriced 4K TV. Just a thought. So what do you guys think? What games are you currently hooked on? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this type of video, give it a thumbs up. And lastly, what type of video would you guys like to see in the future? This is a new endeavor for myself, and I'm still shaping the direction I would like for this channel to go, and I would love your input on the type of content you would like to see. Thank you for watching this episode of The Game Room. Click subscribe to be alerted when our next video comes out. Also, tune in every Monday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to check out our live stream where I play games with you guys. Well, thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya. Why is it not letting me do anything over there?